The Champions League is back this week, and we have 4 Leg 2 quarterfinal games going down this week, spread over Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, we could have not asked for more exciting Leg 1 matches with tons of goals in all of the games. And as we get ready for this week, let's get ready to make some more Champions League predictions and break down Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona and PSG, Bayern Munich and Arsenal, and Man City and Real Madrid. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to get more Champions League picks and soccer picks in all kinds of leagues this year. So let's start off with Dortmund and Atletico Madrid, one of the games on Tuesday. If we look back to Leg 1 between these teams, despite holding 67% of the possession, Dortmund were outshot. Shots on target, it's 9-4. They fell behind 2-0 with Atleti scoring in the 4th and 32nd minutes from Rodrigo de Paul and Samuel Lino. They did manage to pull one back late to make this a little bit better in Leg 2. They got a goal in the 81st minute through Sebastian Haller. Now the odds in Leg 2 see Dortmund favored at plus 120, the draw plus 260, Atletico Madrid plus 210. But to advance from these two legs, it's Atletico Madrid heavily favored at minus 250 and Dortmund plus 175. A head-to-head between these teams. Prior to Leg 1, there had only been 2 all-time meetings, which came in the 2018 Champions League. Dortmund winning 4-0 in Germany, Atletico winning 2-0 in Spain. So the home team has now won all 3 in this head-to-head between these teams. Dortmund, they won the Battle of the Borussias this weekend, 2-1 away to Gladbach. They're still just outside of the top 4. They're in 5th, tied with Leipzig. They only have 3 losses, though, in their last 20 games in all competitions, and a 1-0 loss to Stuttgart 2 weekends ago is the only time they failed to score in their last 20 games. In their past 31 home games in all competitions, they've scored in 28 of those, only failing versus Stuttgart, Bayern Munich, and AC Milan in the Champions League. In this year's Champions League, Dortmund lost away to PSG in the first game, but otherwise they had been undefeated at 4-3-0 until that Leg 1 loss against Atleti last week. The under 2.5 has gone 7-2 in their Champions League games as well. For Atletico Madrid, holding on to that last Champions League spot, they are in La Liga. They're currently 4th at 19-4-8, and they just won this weekend over Girona 3-1. Prior to last week's Leg 1 win, they had just 4 wins in 12 games. But after beating Dortmund and then Girona, they now have won 3 straight. Both teams to score is also 3-0, and they have conceded a goal in 10 straight games and also in 14 of 15. The road has not been kind to Diego Simeone's men. They're 5-3-7 in La Liga. They have just 1 road win in all competitions in their last 7 games, and a 1-0 road win over lowly Granada is the only road clean sheet they have in their last 16 away games. In this year's Champions League campaign, they have just 1 loss away to Inter, and overall they're 6-2-1. They scored in every other game. The over 2.5 has also gone 6-3. If we look at a Dortmund and Atletico Madrid best bet, this could once again be a both teams to score. That's only minus 175 though. Perhaps a Dortmund win. They're plus 120. Atletico is poor on the road. It's hard to trust them on the road, and Dortmund need to go for it, and they have only 1 loss in their last 17 Champions League games. Home Champions League games going back over several years. You could also get creative and try to create a same-game parlay for this prediction. You could create a same-game parlay over at Bet365 with Dortmund double chance. That's the win or the draw, plus under 4 goals. I do think we could see goals from both teams. Dortmund at home, Atleti on the road. Could be a Dortmund win or maybe a draw, and they get the draw and it's still just not good enough. But if we combine that, I don't see it more than 4 goals in this game. So let's go under 4 goals. Dortmund double chance, win or draw, plus 105 for the Dortmund Atletico Madrid prediction. Moving on to the next game on Tuesday, it's Barcelona and PSG. Now Barca comes in with a big advantage, having gone to Paris and won 3-2 in Leg 1, with a brace from Rafinha and another from Andreas Christensen. Barca took a 1-0 lead, fell behind 2-1, stormed back to take the win. Both teams had plenty of shots, with PSG leading 18-15 in shots and Barca leading in shots on target 7-6. Ousmane Dembele and Vitinha scored for PSG. The odds in this game make Barcelona plus 120 favorite, the draw plus 280, PSG 2-1. Now to advance at all by any means, it's Barcelona heavily favored at minus 450 and PSG big outsiders at 3-1. Head-to-head between Barcelona and PSG. There's lots of all-time head-to-heads, but the most recent games come since 2017 came in the 2021 Champions League. PSG won on the road 4-1. They came back and drew 1-1 in Paris. So Leg 1 was another game between these teams that did see both teams scoring, and that certainly looks like an option this time as well in our Champions League predictions. Barcelona is clearly in second in La Liga. They're 8 points back of Real Madrid. They're 5th 5 points above Girona. They had a 1-0 road win in Cadiz this weekend. Barcelona now have 6 straight wins and are undefeated in 13 games. Plus, they only have 3 losses in 21 games, and only 1 home loss as well all season. Barca scored in all but 1 game in their last 30 in all competitions, and maybe even the more impressive feat is the fact that they've kept clean sheets now in 6 of 8 games. Their Champions League games in this tournament have seen the totals bets go 6-3 to over 2.5, as well as both teams to score yes being 6-3, and both teams to score yes being 5-0 in their last 5. For PSG, there's little doubt that they'll win League One. They're 10 points above second place Brest. Their last league game, though, was a shocking 1-1 draw with last place Clermont Foot. That was 2 weeks ago, though. They were off this weekend, so they should come in well rested. PSG had been undefeated in 27 games across all competitions prior to that League One loss to Barcelona. They've also scored in 27 of their past 28 and in 33 of their past 34. The Champions League record this term is 4-2-3. Over-unders are 5-4 to the over, and the both teams to score is 6-3. For a best bet in this game, it's hard to just not see goals again here. A draw won't do for PSG. They have plenty of rest, and they'll go for the win, or they'll be losing again and need to open up and attack and get scored on some more. This looks like another similar result to me from the first round. Let's go both teams to score over 2.5 at minus 150 odds. Now let's move in to Wednesday's Champions League predictions, starting with Bayern Munich and Arsenal. This is, if we look back to League One, despite the poor form by their standards this season, Bayern showed up big. They went to EPL title challengers Arsenal, and they drew 2-2, but they were leading 2-1 until Leonardo Trossard pulled the Gunners level late in the game in the 76th minute. Bukayo Saka opened the scoring in the 12th minute, while Serge Gnabry and Harry Kane scoring a PK put Bayern up 2-1. Those were the only 2 shots on target, though, that Bayern had. Bayern will be favored here, coming back to Germany, plus 137. The draw, plus 260. Arsenal, plus 180. Bayern to advance, minus 143. And Arsenal to advance, plus 105. Head-to-head, since 2013, Bayern is now 6-4-1 versus Arsenal, so they've had Arsenal's number now for quite some time. Both teams to score bets have also gone a perfect 6-0 in their last 6 meetings. For Bayern, they had back-to-back losses in the Bundesliga prior to drawing Arsenal last week, and then they went on to win 2-0 at home to Cologne this weekend, with Leverkusen winning on Sunday. That title race is now officially over. Bayern are second, but they are tied with Stuttgart with 63 points, and both Leipzig and Dortmund are only 7 points back, so it's not been a great year in domestic football for them. The Cologne win, though, snaps a 3-game winless run and a streak of 5 games where they had failed to keep a clean sheet. Offensively, Bayern has scored 2 or more goals in 9 of their last 10 games, but they have allowed a goal in 12 of 14. At home in all matches this season, Bayern are 15-2-3. In the Champions League, they're 16-2-1 overall. The over 2.5 has gone 6-3. For Arsenal, they coughed up and missed a big chance to keep pace at the top of the EPL table of this weekend. Man City overtook them on Saturday. Then Liverpool lost 1-0 to Palace, and a win over Villa would have kept Arsenal at the top of the table, but instead they also lost themselves, and they lost 2-0 to Villa, and they are now 2 points back of City. Sunday's loss is the first in 8 games for Arsenal, and just the second in 15, and only 3 times in those 15 games did they fail to score. They've also scored themselves multiple goals in 11 of their past 15. In the Champions League this tournament, they are 5-2-2. They've scored in 8 of 9. They kept 4 clean sheets. Over-unders are 5-4 to the over. If we look at an Arsenal and Bayern Munich best bet, Arsenal looks to reach the semifinals here for the first time since 2009 and 10. So there's lots on the line for them. Like last game, betting on Harry Kane to get a goal. Never a bad bet. He leads the Bundesliga in the Golden Boot race with 32 goals. He has 15 goals in 20 career games against Arsenal. He has 7 goals during this year's Champions League. If he takes PKs, he scored a PK last week, could very easily score again here. I struggle not to see goals again here, which is probably going to be the theme after seeing so many in Leg 1. It's hard to not see a similar result in Leg 2. It's a rare day when Bayern doesn't score, especially at home, something that's only happened 4 times in all their home games this season. They've also allowed multiple goals in 4 of their last 5. And in that stretch, 3 goals to Heidenheim and 2 to Darmstadt. Their defense can't be trusted, and they're missing several players, with Alphonso Davies suspended and Gnabry and Coman injured. Bayern have lost the German title. Arsenal just lost ground in EPL title. This is a huge game for both. I just see goals again here. And let's go both teams to score and over 2.5 at minus 125 odds. Finally, Man City and Real Madrid, another Wednesday matchup. In Leg 1, it was a wild shootout with Man City scoring early in the 2nd minute. and the score changing from 1-0 to 1-1 to 2-1 Real Madrid, 3-2 Man City, and finally 3-3. 5 different players scored. There was plenty of incredible goals and even an own goal. Man City coming back home to the Etihad, our favorite at -154. The draw +320. Real Madrid +375. Man City to advance at all through extra time or PKs -300. Real Madrid +225. All time in every meeting head-to-head between them. Both teams to score is now 10-3, and it's on a 5-1 run as well. Bets on over 2.5 are 5-1 too. And if you combine that, both teams to score in over 2.5, it's gone 4-2 in the last 6. For Man City, they had a 5-1 win over Luton this weekend. And with losses by Arsenal and Liverpool, they have taken the EPL title lead, 2 points above both of those teams. City's long run of undefeated games was extended with that win. They've now reached 27 games without defeat. That last loss coming way back on December 6th, and they had been undefeated in 9 games prior to that as well. Looking at Champions League results alone, Man City has gone 10-1-0 in Champions League games. Recently, they've scored multiple goals, 3 or more goals in 10 of 11, 3 goals in each of their past 9 Champions League games as well. So that's every game of this competition. They're undefeated in 21 Champions League games, with the last loss coming to this Real Madrid team way back in 2022. City have scored in 17 straight Champions League games, as well as in 22 of 24. Certainly hard to not see them scoring 1, 2, or maybe even 3 again here. For Real Madrid, they inch closer to the Liga title this weekend with a narrow 1-0 road win over Mallorca. They're still 8 points above Barca in second. Aurelien Tchouameni got the goal, but is suspended for this game. Madrid is undefeated in 15 straight in all competitions, with only an extra time Copa del Rey loss to Atletico Madrid as their lone defeat in 37 games. Look at just Champions League results, and they have only 2 losses in 23 games, going back over multiple seasons. And outside of last year's 4-0 loss to City in the Champions League, Madrid has scored in 26 of 27 past Champions League games. If we're looking for Man City and Real Madrid best bets, I would have to lead. If you were picking a winner, have to lead to City at home. They've scored 3 on the road in Madrid. Certainly they could do a similar result here at home. They were able to rest several players this weekend playing the lowly Luton, likes of Rodri, Ake, Walker, Silva, Foden, all got some time to rest this weekend. Could certainly be a both teams to score in over 2.5, again, a -110, or simply, if you want to play it very safe and in case this happens to be a very tight game, I still see goals coming from both teams to score at -160. Finally, one bonus parlay for me for 3 of these 4 games in Champions League predictions for this week. I just see a lot of goals coming from multiple different games, and I think you could do a 3-team, both teams to score between Barcelona, PSG, Bayern and Arsenal, and Man City and Real Madrid would give you a nice +245 return. It's hard for me to see any of those teams not getting at least 1 goal. So that will wrap up this Champions League predictions and previews. How do you see these games going? Be sure to share your picks down there in the comments and follow the channel for more Champions League and soccer picks all year long. Good luck.